From his first LinkedIn post back in 2016 to becoming a 4-time LinkedIn's top sales voice, this man has built an empire of knowledge, one cold call at a time. From almost quitting his SDR role 3 months in to becoming one of the most influential voices in modern sales training, ladies and gentlemen, let me welcome the man himself, the OG storyteller, the cold calling king of Arizona, former Atlanta, Morgan J. Ingram. Welcome to the Go-to-Market Stack Show, Morgan.
Let's go. All right, yeah. So I've had a lot of intros in my career. That's definitely top tier.
We're here to talk about, Morgan, what you've been able to do, and the snack that we want to munch on today is all about LinkedIn and when you decided to really take it seriously. I put together your story and published it quite a while back, but there's a post that you posted 6 years ago. If someone says to reach out in 3 to 6 months, always ask what is going to change between now and then that is preventing you from taking this meeting now. That was almost 1,000 reactions 6 years ago. So talk to me a little bit about when you decided to take LinkedIn seriously. Was it this post? Was it something else? And when did you decide that this was the place, right?
2016 is when I decided to take it seriously. So what? That's 9 years ago. My goodness.
That's how old my son is. My oldest son is as old as 9 years.
Wow, let that say it out loud. So I've been posting for a very long time. I've seen all the ups and downs of LinkedIn. And so that is when I took it seriously. And the reason I did that is because all the other platforms didn't work for me. That's the reason why I was like, well, maybe LinkedIn will work. So I was doing Facebook back in 2013, doing like car videos. I did Periscope. Most of y'all probably don't know what that even is. It was a live streaming platform where you live in front of people. I was dabbling with YouTube and I kind of gave up after a couple videos. So I just hadn't found my platform yet. And so I was like, well, there's no one on LinkedIn. No one is posting. I think that this works. And so that's why I made that decision. And who validated that decision was none other than Gary Vee. So I asked him at the conference, I was like, hey, I'm 22 years old. Like, I'm probably, if I start posting content, I don't think anyone would really care. But like, I want to post. Like, what do I do? And he's like, yeah, document, don't create. Like, document your journey as an SDR, share what's going on, and people will like you as long as you don't talk about something that's not real. So that's what I did. And when I started taking it seriously, and my whole bet was, and most people don't think this way, it's just the way that I think. I was like, if I do this for 10 years consistently, am I going to fail? The answer is no. If you do something for 10 years and you focus, like, you should be successful because you're going to learn. So I said, if I make a bet on this for 10 years, I should be able to have a successful career and build a successful platform. And then that's what I did.
Yeah, that's amazing. And as I was going through and putting your story together, there were some certain moments that were clearly pivotal. I mean, working with John Barrows and figuring out going to JB Sales. And I know he's been doing this longer than my 9-year-old has been bored. So, he's been on the platform for a long time too. And one of the things that I'd really love to talk through is just one of the posts that you put together of your goals and habit setting for 2025. Because to me, I've talked about this in different articles and posts. So Justin Welch talking about the intentional life, about he specifically doesn't want to change the world. You've got Dan Coe talking about focus, which is something I just posted about, the art of focus, and what you focus on is what you become. And you're talking about focusing on pickleball, learning Japanese, leveling up fitness, all the morning rituals and gaming. And so I'm curious, in the interview that you did with Sam Jacobs on the record about playing the long game, help me with 9 years, 10 years, you're not going to fail. But now we're in decade 2. We're moving to the second decade of what you're doing. And one of the recent posts that you had saying 2025 is the foundational year, and then 26 is when I'm going to see this really take off. So help me understand, one, the goal setting and moving into this long game into decade 2, and how that's really going to change AMP and what AMP's going to be able to do in the next decade on LinkedIn.
I realized that midway through creating content in my career, I was becoming a robot. So essentially, the only thing that I really cared about, and I think we all see this, but the only thing I really cared about was my professional work. I didn't really care about any other hobbies. I really care about doing other stuff. And I was just like going through the motions of what needed to be done. And going into this year, and I was looking at what the next 10 years need to look like. I was like, I need to think about life as more of an adventure rather than a machine that I have to just go through to get this result. So that's like my mantra and my focus right now is like, how can I, first and foremost, as a Christian, live up to God's potential that he also told me, hey, this is where you need to go, but also how can I live my life like the adventure that it's meant to be? And so that's why this year the goals are expanded. It's like, if I want to go win a tournament for pickleball for 6 months, I'm going to be out there playing a good bit. I need to have a coach. I have to have a different outlook on that. If I'm going to learn Japanese, I have to be open to coaching and I have to be open to feedback and learning something that I have no idea what's going on. If I want to, make sure that I'm excelling in the gym, I'm going to have to treat my whole life differently, the way I eat, the way I show up. So that's the reason that I picked it, because for me, when I wake up, I'm more excited because it's an adventure. It's like, cool, I'm building AMP and the things I need to do. I'm getting deeper into YouTube. I'm playing pickleball. I'm learning Japanese. Like, this is all one big adventure. So there's things that I'm evolving and advancing into. And I believe that life is truly about evolving and advancing yourself to the highest degree that you can, not just in the work that you do. And so that's the reason I changed that outlook, because I just didn't want to be like a robotic person that this is the only thing that they could do. Growth.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I will agree with you, except for the pickleball thing. I've talked to my neighbors. I wanted to put a pickleball. I have enough space to put like pickleball court. And
you're ready.
Change the rules with the... I can't, they can't put it in the neighborhood. So I love pickleball. And I can't handle that when I'm trying to concentrate. So I'm with you on leveling up the fitness. I've actually been, for 7 years, been using something called the X3 bar, which is variable resistance. You get 500 pounds of resistance, and it's a upper body day, lower body day, right after a cold plunge before I get to the sauna from 4:30 to 6. And it is a game. Life is a game and an adventure. And to me, that it hits it really well. So let's wrap this up with talking to me about AMP and the LinkedIn platform, and what would you tell someone that's trying to get started on LinkedIn, and what is AMP able to do for brands and individuals that we haven't talked about yet?
Yeah. So if you're just getting started, the first question you have to ask yourself is, what is the outcome that you're looking to accomplish? So for sellers that are listening in, like, it's obviously for you to build pipeline and then ultimately close. So you might not need to create as much content as someone else. Or maybe you're trying to be a full-time influencer or do big brand deals. Cool. Or maybe you're trying to grow your business. Again, completely different outlook. So before you even do anything on the platform, you need to know what your goals are. Then the second thing is, once you understand your goals, then we need to start interacting and getting in the same circles of the people that we're trying to sell to or be like or emulate. So you should create a spreadsheet of the people that, one, are potential clients you can engage with. Two, the big creators on the actual platform, so you understand how to write on the platform, because each platform has its own language to a degree. And the third thing that you need to do and you need to lock in and focus on is, who are the people that I need to get in front of that are already currently my clients, or people that are in my space that are peers that I could just learn from in general. So that's what you need to do there. And then the next step after that is engaging with people. So that is a lot of different things. We already mentioned it, but like doing video messages and voice notes, I know people, again, don't like this. Doesn't really matter. They're going to make you stand out. So doing these is a great way to get in front of people. Yes, you can also send text messages or text-based style messages to people on the DMs. That's completely fine as well. But I'm telling you, your videos and voice notes will stand out more than anything else. And you want to make sure that you do that consistently to not only build relationships, but to build pipeline. If you focus on those very simple steps, we can get more tactical, you're fine. In terms of AMP, the main focus that I've been looking to solve, and I've tried to do this multiple different ways as I've pivoted and adjusted and just part of growing up with this, is how do you get the most out of LinkedIn? Because majority, not all, majority of traditional outbound or even ways to get business is just changed. So most people, if you're a B2B, your buyer lives on LinkedIn. So the main focus that we have is, one, how do we give you sales strategies to break through the noise and get meetings? Two, how do you optimize Sales Navigator to the highest degree? And then three, how do you create content that brings people in, or engage with content that brings people in? And there's multiple ways in how you can do that. But that's the whole focus I have in terms of the LinkedIn revenue engine that we're building, because LinkedIn can be maximized to build a lot of pipeline and make a lot of money. You got to know exactly how to way about it.
What's the number one belief about pipeline generation in 2025 that the market has completely wrong? And how should companies be thinking about it differently to unlock their next big opportunity? And I would say you just answered it with LinkedIn DMs with video and audio. But is there something else that you believe is the number one thing that people have just completely wrong?
I'm gonna add to this because like this is, and people are like, wait, what? I'll explain what this means. And I think people are starting to warm up to this. Is most people are getting that like we have to personalize every single email to be successful. I actually think that like that's like the wrong way of looking at it. Like you have to think about how can it be as relevant as possible.
Sure.
And think about it differently. I think so many people are focused on how can I personalize at scale, which that is an oxymoron. It makes no sense. You can't personalize. No, like, but you just want to be relevant at scale. And so that means that like, yes, there are top tier accounts you're going to go after and convert opportunities. Sure. But you also should be running, and I'm doing this myself, so I'm not telling you something I'm not doing. You should buy other email domains and things of that nature to actually run large scale campaigns to see, does your messaging, is it even relevant?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so then once you test relevant messaging, you get responses that it turns into now I can do more personalized videos on that messaging. I can now do more, I could do more things on that side. But you can't figure out what relevancy is until you send out all the messaging. Let's get feedback on that. And then now I can send these videos, again, not at scale, because people ask me, how do you scale videos? It's like, no, you're going to do it manual one by one, but your response is going to be better because now you've gotten more relevant. More relevancy you get, the better responses you get. So I would just add that to the mix.
Morgan, thank you for joining the Go to Market Snacks podcast. We try and keep this to 10-minute clips. I'll do my best and appreciate you being here.